Okay, the channel is live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adventure on so many levels. We're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Yay!
Yay!
We're
Hey.
back.
Yes.
Yes.
I am Christiana Ellis, and I am the Dungeon Master. Our players tonight, Jason Banks as Radius,
Hello.
Mhm.
Dove Archambault as Kneecap,
Right? Eh.
Paul Weimer as Tarsus,
Party member reassessment protocols now in effect.
Lee Burdett as uh, Malleus. Sorry, Radius and Malleus. It trips my brain up every time I have to remember which one.
That's fine. That's
Yes.
fine. Malleus is like, all right, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut from now on. This is never going to be a good idea.
And Nobilis playing Spine,
It's a
aka
public
Cuspid. Sorry.
it's a public service, really.
So we're missing Millie as Korakoid this week, but as we soldier on, let's discuss where we last saw the skeleton crew when we last left our heroes. Well, they had traveled to the gate town of Automata, which is a very lawful, bureaucratic sort of place, which is where they needed to go to connect the last of the gate towns to their mosaic Mimir, which they hope will lead them to where they need to go to solve this strange glitch, this reality glitch that is associated with all of them, wherein the multiverse seems to think that they need to be alive for some reason. And so you made an arrangement with one of the leaders of the city, a woman named Seraphil, that you would retrieve a logbook full of train station time codes and logs and everything that they needed that had been stolen by a sort of anarchist rebel. And then you agreed to potentially try to arrest this rebel as well. And then as soon as you left that meeting, Spine promptly argued all of the rest of you into deciding that you're actually going to use this rebel's contacts to get you to the gate rather than Seraphil's. And all of that basically amounted to the rest of you went ahead and left town ahead of time. Spine helped this rebel get access to the train station uh, while you were able to access the gate and do what you
I
needed to
think
do.
I think helped is probably a strong term. I think that Spine kind of tagged along while she did it.
Sure, sure. So
Well,
she helped you get access
Yeah.
to the gate,
Yeah,
that's for
that's more
sure.
Mhm.
But it was
that's much more
also
accurate.
you that got spotted by all the guards after those big, colorful smoke bombs went off.
Yes.
So as things turned into a sort of chaotic, um, mostly nonviolent mini, like what's a milder version of terrorism?
purple and crank.
Irritationism.
I
Public vandalism.
It was
yeah.
certainly that, but in any case,
Yeah.
uh, Spine escaped the city, but it was clear that you all, having made an agreement with one of the heads of the city, and then one of your team being specifically seen fleeing the scene of the crime, um, they sent an enormous construct after you. And while Spine hid inside a secret room within your walking castle, the rest of you all lied to this construct, denying that Spine was here. And as a result, Coracoid, Malleus, Kneecap, and Tarsus were all teleported away by this construct now charged not only with the dereliction of your duty as deputies of automata, but now with lying to an enforcement officer, and who knows what other charges may await you. But so I think we're going to begin with reality flickering once again, splinters of shattered planes sort of flashing across the cosmos, and then Radius is here in the room with Zathier, and realizing now that things are quiet again because this big clanking construct and the rest of your friends have all been teleported away.
And Spine slides open the secret door and peeks out. Like, is it gone?
Yeah, it's gone.
All right. Wow, that's done. I suppose you kind of want to know what happened, huh?
uh, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So we were going to get this logbook for the high and mighty types
Right.
at in Automata.
Probably got hired for a job, I guess.
Yeah, in spite of the fact that like the fate of the universe is in the balance, they had like a favor they wanted to ask in exchange for it.
You
Like,
know what?
all right,
The hoity-toities are selfish. Sure.
yeah, sure. I mean, they make all kinds of noise about how they're public servants and everything, but no. Anyway, so we get to the hideout of the person who's got it, and we make out okay, and we convince them that we're actually there to hire her to get us to the gate so we can get this Mimir registered, right?
Mm.
And as it turned out, she was just a whole lot cooler. And I decided that I'd rather just hire her to bring me to the gate than go through all the rigmarole. And so that's what we did. And there was a little bit of a mishap while we were out there, but we got the job done.
But so, and I'm guessing them being arrested.
Well, hold on. Do you know that they were arrested? I'm speaking above the table now, player to player. Does your character know they were arrested?
I mean, as we've kind of been playing it, when players are kind of flickering in and out, they tend to have hazy memories of, wait,
Okay.
I was there, wasn't I, or was
Yeah.
I?
Okay.
And
All right.
so, but
Yeah.
I mean, I will
It's
let you play it
all right.
however you like.
right. It,
Yeah. I'm asking you, Jason, does Radius remember?
he knows they were arrested, but he does not know why, especially seeing as
Okay.
we have the Mimir done and the job should be done.
Well, I mean, the mirror was the next step to finding Rome, the Modron. And so we've got information about where that is, and we were on the way there when this enforcer guy shows up. And and decides that you know, in spite of the fact that we're no longer in the city, that they're gonna arrest me. Well,
So,
I
but they took all of them, but
well,
not you.
yeah. Well, I see. I was the one hiding in the secret room. They didn't. They decided not to do that, and
Ah,
uh, and so they thought that they could argue with a cop.
there's a secret room.
Yeah, right there. I just came out of it. Yeah, so they decided they could argue with a cop, which is, I mean, you and I both know that's never going to get you anywhere.
So how are we gonna go get them?
You
Zathier
know,
says, They have most likely been teleported directly to the high courts in the ladies' district of Sigil.
They'll talk their way out of it. You know that. It's fine. And you know what? With all these reality glitches, I wouldn't be surprised if like they get, even if they get like convicted and locked away for 1,000 years, new versions will show up and we can continue the mission.
Hmm.
That's what happened when
Versus.
Tarsus got petrified, right? I mean, he wasn't killed. We could have gone through a whole rigmarole to get him unpetrified, but no, petrified Tarsus is still a statue in that garden, and we've got our own Tarsus now. So I'm not worried.
Although, to be fair, I'm pretty sure that last Tarsus at some point or another became a hag. And,
No,
and betrayed us, and then come to find out
No,
that the old
no.
Tarsus was definitely dead.
no, that was a different Tarsus. That was that Tarsus. That the hag Tarsus was a hag all along, just pretending to be Tarsus.
Right. So I'm assuming they killed that Tarsus. But I mean, either way, we've gone through a lot of Tarsuses.
We've gone
I was
through a
just
lot of.
thinking that.
We've gone through a lot of all of us.
Except moi, actually.
Oh well,
Oldie but goodie. Although this sounds like it may not go well, because we're gonna have to try to figure out how to get all of our party back from the most bureaucratic and authoritarian place here.
No, we just left the most
Well,
authoritarian
yes,
place.
but they had the ability to teleport them from here to wherever. That's
Right.
pretty high up there.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't have any plans for rescuing him. I mean, just you and me, and maybe a baby time dragon. No,
Rini says, "We gonna do a jailbreak?"
no. See,
A jail
the way
beg.
you stay in like operation, the way you stay free is by never involving yourself with law enforcement. As soon as you start getting involved in there, it's just a road. The road is straight to incarceration. You're
But
just
if
gonna.
we had just done what we always do and beat up that rebel and took them to said people, we'd all be together.
Oh, but maybe.
But if the rule of cool got us into this, come on, Miss Spine, we'll have to use the rule of cool to get them out. That was your vote.
You know what? I, I, I know my limits.
Well, it's time to go
I
beyond.
mean, have you got some like something up your sleeve? You got some,
Not at
idea
all.
for how to handle it? I mean,
Nope. I've got a reality glitch, an empty house, and the rule of cool, and I'm sure we'll figure it out.
uh,
Might as well head on back and see where they took our friends.
I mean, how? I mean,
I'm sure they're still looking for you.
Oh, so just like send a homing pigeon or something up there and say, "Oh, by the way, here I am. Come get me." Is that what they're saying?
Did they take the rebel too?
No.
No, the rebel is separated from you back in Automata.
Yeah.
Zathir says there are many portals that could take us back to Sigil. My understanding was that the reason you left Sigil in the first place was because you needed to follow the Modron Rome
Yeah.
out
I
here,
mean,
but you certainly could return to Sigil if you needed. For
okay,
example,
but let's
if
put it this
the
way.
majority of your party was entrapped there.
Yeah.
Uh,
You sure we can't just go get that rebel?
I mean, just the two of us. I'm not even sure. See, the thing is, I'm not even sure that would make a difference.
What did you do?
What did I do? What did I do? I snuck into the train station, snapped a picture of the gate, and snuck out. Well, ran out. I should have sneaked out.
Running from what?
What?
Yeah, what were you running from?
The authorities, same as always.
How did they catch you?
They didn't.
But how did they see you? In fact, why did you have to run from them if you snuck in?
I botched a stealth roll. They got lucky.
And you had
Zathier says, it's my guess that it may be a situation here where there's the law and what your specific crime might be in a court of law. But then there's also an important person who thought they hired you to do one thing, and then you did the opposite.
I mean, wait, look at it. Okay.
if I mean
So
I
if
had
things,
hoped we could
so-
give the rebel, like a salve on the wound that is the face we slapped by not giving them the rebel in the first place.
I mean, let's put it this way: if I show my face in that city, we're not going to get anywhere near that rebel. I mean, you're welcome to go turn around and go there, but I'm headed to where we're going to track down Ro.
Hmm.
It's going to take a little while to get there. Who knows? Maybe they'll talk their way out of it.
But if we start moving the castle, don't you think they'd recognize that we're probably in it and come get us?
The castle's already moving. It's been moving.
Okay.
Although they know the castle. They came here. That's
Yeah.
where they arrested everyone else.
Yes.
Oh boy. How
In
far are
fact,
we?
Zathier, this is still Zathier talking. In fact, I mean, I'm a little concerned that my walking castle has now been implicated as part of a crime. There are certain legal theories that would allow them to seize it.
Yeah.
Well, I
So
mean, the fact that they've got teleporting automata, means that they can seize it. Uh, we're out in the outlands here.
yeah. But
Anybody with sufficient power can seize it.
how
It's
about
not. We're not talking about legal theories. We're talking about the fact that there are people out there who have the power to do it, and if they want to, they'll do it.
so
This
in
isn't
the
about law. This is about power.
but in the I don't know, good, a sign of goodwill to the power with teleporting robots. Um, how about we head back and see if we can smooth this over?
I guarantee you.
You can stay on the ship
Okay.
because at this point, I don't
mean,
know what you
weren't,
did.
okay, let's put it this way. You weren't involved in any of this nonsense.
Right, which is why I definitely can
So
go.
if you want to go and see if you can talk our way out of this, you're welcome to. In fact, we can stop the castle right here and
Yep.
and not go any further so that you can go do that. I'm not coming with you. There's no way I'm going back in that city.
Hmm. But why did you think it would be okay to turn on the people you are absolutely not wanting to go back
Because
to?
they were stuck up assholes. Because the rebel was way cooler. And okay, and look. Automata is the gate city for the lawful plane, right? If things get too orderly there, it slips off into that plane and is never seen again. By participating in the criminal underworld of that city, I was helping to keep it from sliding away. It's a public service, really. You got to do stuff like that periodically, or else the thing, thing
You
goes
all-
away.
You see his spell book float up and open until he comes out and says,
Well, they're not wrong.
The thing that I think hasn't come up in this conversation yet that I'm a little surprised I'm needing to bring up is that if this were a simple matter of having violated Automata's local laws and having to just pay a fine or something, we would be having a different conversation than what we're actually having, which is that your friends, including you, are afflicted by some sort of a reality altering glitch that is likely to cause lots of problems as they are in Sigil and is not likely to simplify their process in escaping.
Yeah. We definitely need to go get some.
I
Because
mean,
yeah, let's
okay.
let's-
I'm not a lawyer, so I
well,
can't help there.
I'm pretty smart. We'll figure it out. Let's go. Let's definitely try to go back and get everyone else, because wait for it. Even if we don't and they die in Sigil, they'll just come back there.
Will they though?
Will they
Probably.
not?
When Tarsus got petrified and abandoned, it was not. You know. He came back with the rest of us. Now maybe I don't know how this glitch works, but
Right. I don't know how many times we can do this.
okay, all right. So you want to go back to Sigil?
Yep.
That's fine. And I'm happier going there than I'm going to Automata. So we can do that. Let's go to the library and find out where the nearest gate that leads to Sigil is.
Uh, Thayfir says, I suspect that if we make our way to Wonderhome, that we will be able to find a portal from there.
Sure. Sounds like a plan. Let's do that.
All right.
Well, at least you didn't
Make-
set the city on fire.
Oh, and nobody got hurt. Nobody got hurt. One person's feelings got hurt is what happened.
Yeah, but that person is real powerful.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And now everybody in Automata gets to see what happens when somebody in power's feelings get hurt. And we see that these people saying that they're like
I mean,
beneficent rulers
by all
only
means,
lasts until somebody gets a pie in the face.
I mean, by all means, I'm as lawful as the next, but at the expense of everyone?
What do you mean everyone? Oh, okay. You mean the whole reality glitch thing? Oh, whatever. If that's on your mind, then the place we should be going is
No, I
where
mean,
we
the
would
whole
track down that
part-
Modron.
The whole party. You know what would help us hunt down that Madron? The whole party.
Okay. Well,
So-
all right. Well, let's get
go
to
get our
Sigil.
party.
All right, so I think we fade out in that continuing argument as the Walking Castle continues on its way in the direction of Wonderhome. Meanwhile, in the High Court, there is a specific area within the Ladies' District of Sigil. Let's put you all on the Sigil poster map. Let's see, where's my little token for you?
Been a while since we've seen this.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Oh, hang on, I have to get the little party token. Here we go. You are all, you find yourself in a room. You've been grappled by this big construct, and
Right.
then you felt it beginning to teleport in a way, and you found yourself suddenly in a very spare concrete room with all sorts of runes on all of the walls. And as soon as you appear, one of the walls that had been open slides up, and it has runes on its own. And as it does, you feel all magic just suddenly like drain away from you. And there are several guards there with spears, and they're holding out manacles. There is 2 for each of you, including the construct, which is still there. And they just say, all right, now you've been brought into custody. If you cooperate, we can make this easy. You'll be given a fair trial, but we need you to not resist at this time, or we're going to have a problem with any of you.
Kneecap looks to the other, well, 3, or other 2.
Other 2, there's only 3 of us.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
kind of look around and you realize, hey, wait, wasn't
Cora.
Cora with us? But she's not now.
Yeah. I think at this point in time, Malleus is gonna be like, no, dude, and he holds out his hands.
Okay, then
Yeah,
Kneecap will hold out his hands as well.
Okay.
as does Tarsus.
All right,
He-
so
He goes, Kneecap goes with the party in general.
so each of you are fitted with a set of manacles that has their own sort of runes on them. And once you're each wearing that, the wall slides down again, and you are each escorted to a separate small room. And this doesn't look like a prison cell, but it is a room with just a chair and a table and a big mirror on one of the walls. And each of you is deposited into a separate one of these. And the door is closed and locked, and you are. It is explained to you on your way to these rooms that you are first going to be questioned. You have you're going to be read your charges officially. There's going to be a discussion with you. You can, you do have a right to an advocate. If you know one, they can contact them for you. Otherwise, there are available advocates that can present themselves to you, and you can choose one. And so this is a choice presented to each of you separately. What do the 3 of you like? So let's start with Kneecap. What do you say as they're explaining all this to you? Is like, do you have a specific advocate in mind, or would you like us to have the available representatives come and speak with you?
Please have them come speak. Don't know one.
Very well. And what about Malleus?
Yeah, he's gonna opt for the pro bono
Okay.
Yep.
pro bono guy.
I should clarify. None of these are free. If you want an advocate, you will have to pay them.
Okay, what's the going rate?
Well, that depends on the advocate.
Okay, then I'll hash that out with them. Thank you very much. I
Yes.
appreciate it.
And then what about Tarsus?
Tarsus is the same. He will want to speak with the selection of advocates. Have that option open.
Okay. So each of you is escorted into this little room, and you're sitting in there. They said a lot of stuff. They were describing, this process of the advocate, and they put you in each of these rooms, and then you kind of just sit for a while. And some time passes, and no one has come to talk to you or come to get you. After it's been an hour, I want to know what each of you is doing in your room by yourself.
Are we able to move around the room?
Yes, but it's a small room. It's basically like, maybe like 10 by 12.
I think Kneecap in like the first 5 minutes, like after like 5 minutes of waiting,
Mm-hmm.
would have gotten out of the chair and just started examining every inch
Sure.
of the room he could
All right. And
reach.
that takes about 30 seconds.
And then um like I think he's gonna look at the manacles and just kind of idly chew on them.
Mm-hmm.
It's,
Sure.
it's something to do.
I
It's like,
think they taste a little bit like when you put your tongue on a 9-volt battery.
yeah,
Uh,
I, he's obviously not trying to actually break them.
Mm.
It's just like idle, like I I need something to do.
Mm-hmm. 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 What about
Yeah.
Malleus?
I think Malleus, after like sitting in the chair waiting for a little bit, twiddling his thumbs, looking around, is like, okay, it's one of these times, and he'll go up and curl up in the corner of the room and wrap the blanket around himself and try to get some sleep.
All right. Oh, I should add your like packs and weapons were confiscated.
Okay,
of
okay.
course they
So
were.
Yeah.
he'll just kind of curl up in a corner and conk out because that's that's a lesson he has learned in life
Mm-hmm.
is that you sleep when you can.
Sure.
And
They'll wake him up when they're ready for him.
and he should be perfectly warm. You know, it's a corner that's I'm sure the corner's 90 degrees.
Oh, well done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That took me about 3 seconds after you started clapping.
Uh,
Because my brain automatically went, well, that's the warm corner. Now, where's the cold corner? And can I find a place in the middle?
yeah.
Probably below the table.
Sure. I that's Malleus. How about Tarsus?
Tarsus is going to do something I have not really discussed much in this whole campaign because he's been a more practical sort of cleric. Tarsus is going to pray in a long, epic prayer to Vulcan that basically is 85% apologia for failing him, not living up to him, for being so foolish as to trust Spine and endangering his personal mission to his god and possibly the multiverse. So it's kind of like a plea to his god that yes, I screwed up. This is me throwing myself on your mercy. He's kind of bitter about what happened last time. If you can consider his emotional state ever reach bitterness, he's bitter about what happened.
Mm-hmm.
He feels that he got rooked and he went along with something he should not have done, and now he's going to pay the ultimate price and possibly the multiverse as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I think so at the start we have let's start again with Kneecap where you've been waiting for all this time and then the door opens and it's another one of these guards and he is accompanied by a tiefling in a very very nice suit. Not that I think Kneecap has an especially keen eye for fashion, but it's very fancy looking for sure. And this tiefling has a briefcase, and the guard is saying, um, "We've got a couple of advocates here to present themselves for you. Once you've selected one, we're going to have our questioning. Um, so, figure it out." And he leaves and closes the door behind, leaving you with this tiefling who says, "Greetings, Kneecap. My name is Sly Nye, and I am the best advocate in Sigil. My fee is, and I make no hyperbole here, astronomical. But
Why?
I charge that much because I am the best advocate in Sigil.
Why best?
Because I have a keen mind, an understanding of the law, and an understanding of people and all of the powers and moving pieces that function within this elaborate system of justice that we have here in Sigil. And I'll tell you right now, although there are charges here that they can make stick, it would seem to me, this is all happening because of larger pieces that we can use as leverage. And I suspect that I would be able to get you out free and clear in very short order. However, I would require 15,000 gold in order to accomplish this. Now, I do have some side businesses. And if 15,000 were too steep for you and your friends, to be clear, that is the price for representing all three of you. If you wish to purchase representation separately, that is up to you and we could renegotiate that fee. But we could make a sort of trade because I understand you and your friends are adventurers.
Yes.
And if you were to undertake a task that requires adventurers, I might accept a successful mission in lieu of my aforementioned astronomical fee.
Type of mission.
Well, we'll have to decide on that later.
How much know about planar glitches?
Well, arcana is not my expertise, young man. I am an expert in the law. And it would seem to me that by describing it as a glitch, that inherently presents it as something unusual and unexpected. So, would anyone be an expert in such things?
You know Gnomish?
I have the capacity to speak any language necessary, magically.
Okay. Kneecap is going to go into a long-winded Gnomish explanation in Gnomish of the of the issue, and
He casts tongues on himself as you begin.
and purposely doing so fast, so like fast enough that it would be more difficult to understand, like keep up unless he's really sharp.
And so after you finish all of that, he listens carefully. He's paying attention. He occasionally takes a few notes on a little pad that he's got. And he says, "Well, my friend, I am not currently engaged as your advocate, not in an official capacity yet. However, as an informal little bit of legal advice, you need a good lawyer." And so we're going to cut from there to Malleus. You are in the little room, and the door opens, and a guard escorts in a very sweaty-looking water genasi who has got kind of an ill-fitting suit, and he has got like an armful of file folders and a briefcase that looks like the lock is broken, and it's got tape holding it together. And he kind of comes in and he sets all this stuff down and just says, "Hi, you are, oh, wait, hang on. He pulls up a file. Kneecap. No, wait, Malleus. Malleus, yes?
Yes.
Do you need an advocate?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I could be your advocate.
Okay. What's your experience in arguing extremely difficult cases?
And like his face kind of goes pale, and like he's just like it's like dripping down.
I'm just, dude. I'm just being honest here. We've kind of screwed ourselves over in
Okay.
probably the worst way.
So, I feel that it is my ethical responsibility to not deceive clients or mislead them in any way. And so, what I'll tell you is that I am um, experienced primarily in less serious cases than this. I mean, strictly speaking, I initially expressed, and filed my interest just because I saw that it was a dereliction of duty charge, and it was only kind of after I saw the file that I realized there's kind of a lot more going on. There's a lot more moving pieces here, and so I will say, look, this may be my first case doing something as big as this, but I'll try really hard because I definitely need the work. And, I can tell you that the truth is, I don't know if you have lots of money. I can promise you, I understand that my inexperience makes it incumbent upon me to charge accordingly, which means that my fee will be considerably less than some of my more experienced colleagues. And so, if this is, I will do my best for you.
Okay.
Oh, my name is Java Fleck. And
Uh-huh.
hands you a business card, and it is just soaked. It is like it's damp. It's floppy.
Well, he's a water
Yeah,
genasi.
yeah.
I
So
mean, it's a thing.
yeah, he is like sorry. It's like
Somebody needs
and
to
he's
introduce
like
this guy to wax paper.
smoothing it down. He like places it on the table. He's like smoothing it out to like flatten it, and it's like smearing the ink a little bit.
Okay.
And so let's now cut over to Tarsus. Similar setup. The guard brings in a. This is a female elf. Looks to be, if she were human, like in mid-30s, and she's in kind of like it's also a nice suit, but it's nice in the sort of a more like garish, flamboyant way. Instead of just like impeccably tailored, super expensive, it's more like flashy, right? And she's wearing sunglasses. And as she comes in, and she gives the guard kind of um, a look that is at first like dismissive, but then when he like looks up at her and just says, "We're cool, right? I mean, the thing," and she says, "Yes, we're fine. Go."
Interesting.
So, Tarsus, I am here in the capacity of potentially representing you in the courts. However, I should make it clear to me that my primary client as an advocate is an individual that I believe you may have made the acquaintance of. Her name is Shemeska of the Fortune's Wheel
Affirmative.
Casino. Yeah?
Affirmative.
Well, it just so happens that she heard you were back in town.
I I am gratified that she has been able to uh, find that out. I was unable to send a message to her before my magic was drained from me.
So, here's my suggestion, okay? You and your little friends being in the city a minute longer than necessary is bad for everyone.
Affirmative.
And so, it is my proposal on Shemeska's behalf that we get you out of here ASAP.
All of us.
Well, yes. I
Yes.
mean,
Mhm.
all of you are going to. Who knows even what as your little thing happens? Who knows what could happen? There's
Please
a lot of
continue.
people in Sigil, and I think we want to get you far away from them is our objective here. And so, strictly speaking, what I am here to do is not to represent you in a trial, but rather to find the most expedient means by which you are not in the city anymore. Do you follow my drift?
With crystal clarity, lady.
Spine has no idea why, but right now she just broke into a huge grin.
So let me explain here that this is, to some extent, at your discretion, because it is possible, nay, even likely, that the means by which we would accomplish this are going to be frowned upon by some in such a way that you might find yourself free but not so much clear, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So, you and your little friends need to make up your minds. If you feel like you can beat these charges and vindicate yourself and take care of this sort of thing yourselves, feel free to hire someone else. And if you do, Shemeska will deny having ever had anything to do with you. Or we can get
Understood.
you out of here.
I would prefer freedom for me, my companions, and our equipment. We have some rather valuable equipment, which we will need to continue the mission that she has given us.
We can probably make arrangements to have that returned to you. My name is Ozer Pidley.
Urza Pidley?
Yes, and I will hopefully be speaking to you again. You will need to tell the guards once the three of you are allowed to confer. You will need to choose your advocate. You may choose individually. However, I will tell you, my offer is for the three of you together and not any of you separately.
Understood.
Mhm.
So, make up your minds. I'll be waiting. And so, even though we have cut between, all three of you receive the pitch from all three of these individuals.
Mhm.
And so, each of you now, without being able to speak to the others, needs to decide who you are choosing as your advocate. So, and again, just as, imagine that each of you received approximately the same pitch that you heard each of the three give the others.
Mhm.
I mean, I know who I'm going for.
Yeah? Who's that?
Shemeska's person.
Sure.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's not a
I
hard
think
choice.
you've got three people who are waiting for an escape plan.
Or exit strategy. With
Yeah.
more neutrally.
Like you know, Kneecap would have been like, it's the if the price was less astronomical or had a description of the job to do
Mm-hmm.
after,
You know,
might have gone for the expensive guy,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
It comes down to kind of what she was saying is like, you think you can beat the charges? Well, maybe.
But-
Yeah.
But
Here's the thing. Yes, even though we beat the charges, remember we're not really liked in Sigil anyway, so
sure.
Yeah.
they might
Well,
find a reason
so
to keep us anyway.
in any case, Kneecap is
Mhm.
going with Ozer Pidley as Shemeska's
Yeah.
representative. Tarsus, it sounds like that was where you were leaning as well.
Yep.
Malleus, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Shemeska because she has not bitten us in the butt yet.
Indeed.
All right.
And as good as this guy thinks he is, the dude who just needed the money and needed the help, it's like, this is not the case you want to make that stand on. The but the dude with asking for 15,000 is like, that's an adventure equal to the cost of $15,000 would. I don't know that would be in our pay grade right now. I don't know that would even be possible right now.
That'd be more of a
So
campaign in itself than
yeah,
Mhm.
just one adventure.
Well,
Yeah.
you don't know, right?
Ellie,
But
You
certainly
don't.
it's
We
it's
don't.
something that would be worth 15,000 to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want to escape from the authorities of Automata to go up
Okay.
against like a cabal of red dragons
All right.
for a cup.
So in any case, it sounds like that each of you reaches the same conclusion independently, and
Mhm.
so you let the guards know, and she returns to each of you in sequence and basically tells you, "You've made the right decision. They are going to question you now. Say nothing. Nothing. Do not open your mouths when they question you. Say nothing, and I will take care of it. Understood?
Understood.
Gotcha.
I can't be in the room when the questioning is happening, but I will be aware." So, at this point, the guards come back in, and having made your choice, the guards had a pretty authoritative, like, this is business, you are criminals, and they're here to just get you to confess sort of attitude before. They do seem a little bit more like this is a formality now. But each of them is you're being brought in, and there's a different guard for each of you. But so I'm going to basically, even though you're three being spoken to separately in different rooms, I'm just going to, as though we're cutting between them, I will ask each of your questions, your character's question, and I'll just, like, when I start, we're cutting between the rooms. Make sense?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So,
And when like silence, when she said say nothing, did she mean silence or
she
just
said what she said. You interpret
Okay.
that as Kneecap will.
okay?
All right. So, Kneecap, you made an agreement in Automata to serve as a deputy, deputized under Seraphil of the Council of Order. Is that correct? Just know it. Yeah, you're not going to say anything.
Not gonna say anything.
All right. Well, we happen to have the paperwork right here. You're going to tell us this isn't your signature? Man, I hate when they do this. And then, so Tarsus, we know that you have been seen in the company of this tiefling known as Spine. What is your association with her?
Tarsus says nothing. In his brain, he's going through the Fibonacci sequence just in case they get to read his mind. So he's just counting 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55. But he's not saying a word. He's just running the numbers in his head. That's all he's doing.
Yeah. Malleus, look, we know you're not the ones that we want here, right? Like, this is all a big misunderstanding. We know that it wasn't you that did anything wrong here. And we're sorry that, we've had to kind of put you through this whole process here. But, if you can just tell us where we can find Spine so that we can clear all this misunderstanding up. Maybe it's probably a misunderstanding with her too. We just need to talk to her. So, I mean, can you tell us anything about where we can find her?
Malleus isn't mentally applauds their good cop version. But he's just looking and trying to think of nothing, and kind of mentally apologizing to Rini in the back of his head. Go, it's like planning the speech of not taking her morals from murder hobos.
So, after several, basically like an hour's worth of repeated questions where you all just kind of continue to just not give any answers as directed,
Mhm.
they they're a little frustrated, but you get the sense that this was easier than it might have been.
Mhm.
But the guards leave you alone, and you're locked in there for another little while, and then after, hard to say how long it was. The door opens, and then each of you is greeted by a pair of guards that have like a rolling cart that's got all of your personal effects on it, and that for the three of you, and they look at you and they say, "Come on,"
Mhm.
and
Alrighty.
they collect
Okay.
the three of you from your respective interrogation rooms, and they are, marching you. You're still manacled towards the end of the hallway where there is a chute that looks like it is for laundry.
Mhm.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and the chute actually has a word on it. Does any of you read? Do any of you read Infernal?
Yes.
Yeah. Um, so the word on there is hopeless.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
But Ozer Pidley is standing there, her arms folded, and she's kind of tapping her foot, and she's looking at the guards, not to all of you. Um, when you kind of come around the corner, she's standing there by the chute and just says, "About time." And the guards are just like acting a little sheepish. Um, and she just says, "Let's come on, take their manacles off." I mean, we can't have on the record that they stole manacles too, can we? And so they unlock your manacles. They do seem like there's a little bit of like they're maintaining just enough readiness to make sure that you're not going to like suddenly attack them or suddenly like take off running or something.
Right.
But they are remove your manacles. They allow you to sort of get to your stuff that's on the cart, and then Ozer kind of glances at the chute and says, "All right, go on."
Okay.
Thank you.
All
All
right.
right.
Process will
And
go down the suit.
yep.
Yeah.
Malleus, go down the hole.
Yeah, just gonna look at uh oh, what is her name again?
Ozer Pidley.
Yeah, gonna look at Ozer Pidley
Mm-hmm.
for a second, then just dive into the chute.
Mm-hmm. All right, so all three of you dive into the chute, and you feel that this is a chute, and you're kind of on a slide, but it feels like it's going a really long way. Like you
Oh
feel
boy.
like it's been a couple of minutes and you're still sliding. But it is getting like it gets warmer for a little while, and then it starts getting colder again. And then all of a sudden, there is a bright flash of light, and the three of you tumble out onto what seems like some kind of a big wooden platform. And on this wooden platform, you look around, and there are actually like piles of dust around you. Like in this big platform, it's maybe like 30 feet by wide by 20 feet deep. There's here and there in different parts of it, there are these little piles of dust, and as you kind of pick yourselves up and look around, you realize that you are in. First of all, let me put back on the Outlands poster map. Uh, you are in a city that has like it's got this sort of like a circular structure. You are in the gate town of Hopeless down here, and you see there. Hang on, let me. Trying to. Where's my? There we go. So
Yeah.
it is, everything is kind of gray here, with the exception that you can see kind of up towards the outskirts of town. Like the only part of the town that seems to have any color at all is this huge gate where it's designed to look like a screaming demon's head that you walk through its mouth. And that is bright red, but everything else in the city is just like, shades of gray. The sky is overcast, and as you realize that you are on a kind of stage, and the audience seems to have a crowd of really drab, somber-looking people, but also in a sort of a fancy box, there is a strange humanoid who is floating. Like they're sitting cross-legged but floating, and they're in robes, and they have a really strange mask that has like the face on it is sort of a distorted, like sad face, like the Commedia dell'arte, tragedy face. It's kind of like distorted onto a metal mask, and they're wearing that. And you realize that hovering above you to either side, there are two beholders looking down at you. And one of them says, "Go on, do a show." And then the other one says, "Yeah, you need to make the Maiden of Misery herself, High Cardinal Thingol, impressed with your performance. If you can evoke a single emotion from her, you may live." And the other one says, "And if not, we'll disintegrate you." And then they
Yay!
sort of like mug to the crowd, like that's going to be a big applause line, but there's just no reaction at all. Everyone's just staring.
Yay! I have a -1 to charisma.
Oh boy.
I'm sure everything's going fine with you, so I don't know what you're worried about.
Yeah. So yeah, that is where you find yourself.
Wow.
What would you like to do?
Kneecap looks to Radius and Malleus, and it's like,
You mean Tarsus and Malleus?
oh yeah, sorry, Tarsus. Us. I and
Blame the human skeleton.
When
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and show.
we need to invoke emotion in the audience.
Audience or one person?
That person
One
is
person.
that one person is part of the audience.
Hmm.
Oh, what is my performance? Oh God, +0. That's
Oh,
not
I'm
gonna.
certain mine is 0 as well.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mine
am-
is -1. You're both better than me.
Hmm.
But they
Unless
want
what we want to evoke is disgust and despair.
I mean,
I mean, any
You just said
emotion.
an emotion.
listen, I mean, fear is an emotion. You could definitely just murder somebody.
Yeah, but those
Yeah.
the beholders have disintegrated beings. I'm not sure they'd go for that.
Don't go for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
No.
them. No, like the audience. Like, no.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they won't care.
Yeah.
They're
Hmm.
beholders.
Need volunteer.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
Your
Okay.
strongest and Tarsus will add your strongest fighter.
All right. Hold on just
There.
a second. I'm
Hey.
okay.
Let's
go on
I'm
strike.
starting to draw a map, so a little preemptively, perhaps. Okay, so so you say you need a volunteer, and you get no reaction from the crowd, but you make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Or rather, I'll say basically the crowd is not reacting. You
Yeah.
might need to be more specific.
I got a natural 19.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
Well, but what? So what are so
Oh.
what I'm saying is,
So
generic call for volunteer yields you nothing. You're going to have to be more specific.
wait,
Then we'll go to
find
Tarsa
the-
saying, we wish to face your 3 strongest fighters.
Okay. Well, so is that what? So I think we're still doing. Kneecap is doing
Oh,
something.
kneecap, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Kneecap is going like basically looking like the first couple rows.
Okay.
And just point to the person that looks the strongest.
Okay. So
You be
All right.
part of show.
Okay. So you've got someone who's kind of relatively muscled, and they're wearing kind of a leather apron that's, gray, and they are kind of dour looking, and they look up at you, and you're with uh, if anything, their emotion is like concern, like, oh no, what's going to happen to me now? But they do kind of shuffle forward out of the crowd to look up at you.
Come up, stand in front of me.
Um, to those of you with a reasonable insight score, I think the body language of this guy is someone who has just taken a moment to accept his own impending death, and he climbs up onto the stage with you.
Aw.
Mm,
Like,
He doesn't seem actually
Yeah.
super broken up about it.
yeah.
yeah.
It's more just
Okay,
kind of like, oh well.
Okay, so Kneecap will, like, your challenge, knock Kneecap over. Use any means you wish. And
Okay. He's gonna roll athletics to shove you.
okay,
He gets a dirty 20.
I got a 27.
Okay. Yeah. So he pushes you, and what happens?
Kneecap moves just a smallest amount.
Mm-hmm.
Can do better.
He's kind of like looking around and looking at the crowd. He gonna try again.
Okay.
He gets another dirty 20.
Wow.
Nice.
I mean, he rolled high just twice in a row,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Oh, Kneecap got a 15.
Okay. So he kind of pushes you over, and then is kind of like looking around, like he's looking up at the beholders, and the beholders are looking over at the crowd, and the this masked figure is just like not even shaking their head, just completely immobile, impassive. Like they're obviously breathing, and they're kind of bobbing a little bit as they hover, but just they're giving you zip nothing at all.
Okay.
Okay.
Then Kneecap will just is going to spring at the person. This
The volunteer, you mean?
yeah, the
Okay.
volunteer.
Yeah.
The voluntold.
Sure.
And basically try to try and wrestle him.
Okay. I mean,
Wrestle till yield.
he yields immediately.
And
Okay.
Kneecap just says, "Really?"
So the beholders kind of turn to look at the other two and just say, "What have you guys got?"
Kneecap just kind of picks this person up and just kind of tosses him
Yeah.
off the stage.
Yeah.
Oh, poor guy.
He dusts himself up and retakes his position in the crowd.
All right. So we need to evoke an emotion, any emotion. Yeah. Right.
I mean,
My brain is like, all right, so what's bad poetry that I know, but I don't really remember any off the top of my head?
you
Bulldog
can
poetry?
roll for it. You don't have to
Yeah.
Right.
necessarily, as a player,
Right.
think of something.
Yeah,
You're
I think
muted, Nobilis, if you're saying something. We don't hear you.
yeah.
I was quoting "Oh Fuddled Grunt Bugly."
Hmm.
Mm,
I am not familiar with that one.
Okay.
Um, I I think that Malleus will do his. So long as you don't have me like make up something off the top of my head,
You
because
don't have to.
I'm
You
a
can
horrible
just
poet.
you can roll for whatever Malleus comes up with.
Yeah, Malleus comes up with really, really horrible poetry.
Oh, well, you can roll for it if you like, unless you want to volunteer to not succeed at this.
No, I'm gonna try it. What am I
Okay.
rolling? Performance?
Performance, yeah.
Okay. And that is a 3.
oh,
It loses a lot without the metaphor enhancers.
So most of the audience is still just as stone faced as ever, but from the back you hear like someone in the crowd go, "Boo!"
Hey, you
And
got
then
a reaction out of somebody.
the beholders
reaction,
turn
but
to
not motion.
Tarsus.
Correct me if I'm wrong, GM. We have no spells, correct?
I mean, you are no longer in anti magic. I
Okay.
don't. I mean,
Okay. Okay.
You were suppressed, not drained.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was. Okay. I was
Yes.
suppressed, not drained. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I'm sorry. I guess I did say draining away from you, but
yeah,
that was
you
just
did.
to,
So I
that
was
was
like,
just to evoke it. You were in an anti magic field. That's all. Before.
okay.
You're no longer.
Then my first step is I'm going to cast guidance on myself for for the skill performance, and then I'm going to I'm going to launch into the tragic epic of Tarsus's life being cast across the multiverse, being split, being petrified, being impersonated by a hag, going through all of these things and
Being
all those
eaten
various
by hags.
what's that? Being eaten by hags, going through the and the hell of this is that the whole multiverse might crash if I do not get out of here. I'm basically trying to invoke pity and sorrow in the audience through my performance.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so
Let's see a roll.
let's see a roll.
That looks like
14.
a 14. Um, you feel like if this were anything approaching a normal crowd, you might have had something there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So instead, as you finish, there's a moment of silence, and then one of the beholders goes, "So we can kill him now, right?" And this masked figure in the audience, moving for the first time, just gives a thumbs up. And we're going to roll initiative.
Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty then.
All right. So let's
Dun,
see.
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. So let me put you on this this little improv map that I'm making here.
All right. In my notes, I have this: have to evoke emotion, fail utterly.
Yeah.
Fail
Yeah.
utterly,
Okay.
fight.
Yeah. Okay, and then And just for fun, I happen to have some tokens for cute beholders, so that's what we're gonna use.
Oh, so when we die, it's by the hands of cute creatures. That got it.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Where is that?
Tarsus, your low initiative may get you killed. It is cute, and it's gonna try to kill us. They're
Yeah.
both going to try to kill us. Oh boy.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
gonna roll again just to get my character on the board, and then I'll put in my original.
Okay.
My original one.
Sure thing.
Although my original, the same score came up.
Okay.
Go figure.
Let's see. I didn't
Oh
have
my
the
god, that is
extension
so
running.
cute.
They are adorable.
Yeah. Aren't
Yeah,
they?
for those who are just listening to the podcast, they basically look like they're blue. They have cute little tentacles. They have an eye, and their tongue is sticking out like a blep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
an Anaya stinker face.
Little
If-
rosy
if-
cheeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if a Pokemon was a beholder, that's what they look like.
That's a good.
Yes,
that's
that
a
is
good
very
call.
much it. These are very much Poke beholders. Poke holders.
Yeah. They got, let's see, we got everyone's initiative on there. Good. So that is going to be Malleus up first. It looks as though the beholders are moving in, and their cute little faces indicate how happy they are to maybe get to disintegrate you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case, I am not pleased to be disintegrated. It is not my pleasure to.
Incidentally, the platform that you're on is about 10 feet off the ground. There are stairs kind of along the back of it. The south of the rectangle is where the audience is.
Okay, so the audience is like here.
Yeah, they're a
And
little.
they're-
There's like maybe a 15-foot gap before the between, but so this kind of around there, like where that blue box is kind of where the audience is.
Okay,
Mhm.
and the stairs are
It's-
like to the sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Malleus is going to move up a little bit, and then he is going to fire a psychic blade at this guy.
Okay.
Mm.
This is the first time y'all have seen him do this.
Which one are you going after, left or right?
Right.
Okay.
15 to hit.
15 does not hit.
Okay.
It
Try
is deflected off of their thick, sort of spiky brow ridge there.
Okay. All right, let's try this again. Nope. Still same 15.
Dang,
Okay,
nabbit.
and let's see, bonus actions. Do I have anything? Nope.
My gosh. With
Well,
your-
no, there is actually like a bonus attack with psychic blades, but I don't think it works.
Okay.
It works like I don't think it works like that. So keep on going.
All right. So, Kneecap, that makes it your turn.
Okay, and how high off the ground are these?
Well,
Or-
so they are
off the
floating.
level, right.
Yeah. So the platform you're on is 10 feet off the ground. They are perhaps 10 feet higher than that.
Okay, so let's see. My thought is I try and leap onto one of them and
Yeah.
well,
Want to make an athletics check? for that?
Wow.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, and first I'm gonna rage,
Okay. Yeah.
so I get advantage, and that is 28.
Okay. They're going to make a dexterity check just to see if they can maybe avoid you, but it looks like no. So you leap into the air, and what you're like grabbing, like holding on to like one of their eye stalks or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and Yeah, this one.
Sure.
Okay. And would I still have any attacks or
I think that is where I'm going to rule it effectively as a grapple, which would be one of your attacks.
okay.
You've got
so,
it grappled, but the normal thing of reducing its movement speed to 0 is not in effect.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you're grappling it.
Well then,
You're grappling yourself to it.
yeah.
Mm.
I'm going to ah I'm going to my what I was saying is like try and like steer its eye stalks towards like maybe like towards the person in the mask.
I mean, you can try that. They have 9 of them.
Yeah.
Or 10, excuse me. 10 different eye rays.
Oh, well, like they have the anti-magic.
Well, that's
thing.
their main eye. Their main central one is the anti-magic.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try and steer a random eye stalk towards the
Okay.
person in the thing.
Go ahead and make an athletics check, and I will roll a d10 to see which I'll rule like which of their eyes that you've kind of like
14.
wrenched so that it can't. Okay, that was your athletics check, but
Yeah.
roll a d10.
Okay.
Mhm.
3.
Okay. Well, I mean, this was for which
Yeah.
eye it was. So like,
Yeah.
yeah. So for the moment, they would have disadvantage attacking anything with their fear ray. Not that you know that
Okay.
necessarily. Okay. So that's the end of your turn.
Yep.
Okay. It is their turn. The one that you have grappled is not enjoying that, but it's going to try to take some of its other eye rays and blast you off of itself. So let's see.
blast.
First, yeah, I need you to make a 16 or a DC 16 Constitution saving throw.
Okay. I got a natural 18.
Okay, yeah, great,
That's
great.
26 total.
Sure. And then, oh, come on. So the nature of this stat block is that you can only do each ray once per turn. So if you roll the same number, you just re-roll. But I've rolled 3 2s in a row on the same die. Okay.
Oh dear.
That die is colored.
So now I need a wisdom saving throw. And I
Okay.
believe you have advantage on these as a gnome, if I'm not mistaken.
If it's against magic, yes.
Okay.
Advantage. And that is a Baker's 20.
Okay. And now another Constitution saving throw.
Okay. 21.
Okay. So I just realized some of these should let's see, some of them should have
Effects
okay,
on
so the first 2 are no effect if you save. So, but this one is it is a ray of enervation, and so you still take half even with a success. And so, yeah. So the total would have been 29, but so instead you're going to take 14 necrotic damage.
Okay, and rage does not
Yeah.
change that.
And as it is trying to zap you, it is kind of floating around erratically with you attached and saying, "Get it off! Get it off! Get it off!"
Oh God.
Meanwhile, the other one it doesn't care about that and is going to attack the other 2 of you. So first against Malleus.
Okay.
That is another one of the. It's a beam of like strange dark energy. I need you to make a Constitution save.
Ooh.
Okay, and that is not as good as Kneecap's version. I got an 11.
Okay, So you are going to take 25 necrotic damage.
Oh my god.
And then you are going to need to make a strength saving throw as it fires another beam at you with sort of a like wavering, like psychic shockwave energy. So with the
How about
21, yeah,
21?
you you feel it trying to like seize you telekinetically and to hurl you, but you are able to like grab onto the platform with enough strength that it doesn't move you. And then this next beam is going at you, Tarsus, and
Yep.
is uh, um, it is an energy of seems like heat mirage sort of effect, and you need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Should be pretty
That
good.
is a natural 20 for a 27.
Wow. Okay. So you find yourself briefly feeling as though you might fall asleep, but then you are able to successfully resist that.
Okay.
So it is now your turn, Tarsus.
All right. We got to kill these things. So, right. So let's pull up some happy dappy spirit guardians to do in our 15-foot radius
Mhm.
around us. And then I will actually first I will move here and then pull up the spirit guardians this way. Spirit guardians will on the beholder's turn doing good damage.
Mhm.
Okay, so I can't cast another spell. Correct. Not even a cantrip, correct?
Well,
It's a
if the
bonus
cantrip is a
action.
bonus action, then you could, but otherwise, no.
Right, but otherwise no. Okay, so yep, so that is my turn for the moment.
Okay. They're each going to take a legendary action to shoot an eye ray. The one that's got kneecap on it is going to fire a ray that looks like the air is full of like it's a dust storm, and I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh boy.
And this is an effect I can see, correct?
Ish. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You know what? Actually, what I'm going to say is a dexterity saving throw from the thing that you are grappling. I feel like might be disadvantaged. So roll it straight.
Okay, roll it straight.
Yeah.
I'll take it. That is a 6.
Okay. You begin to turn to stone, and you
Oh
are
boy.
Oh shoot.
restrained.
Oh no.
Now, what is happening though is that I think as you start to turn to stone, your grip on the eye stalks is maintained, and so you are not able to make yourself let go, even if you wanted to right now. And I think
Okay.
magically, as you start to turn to stone, you're getting heavier also, and all of a sudden it's like hanging crooked, and going ow, 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 ow.
This was not well thought through.
Yeah. Um,
Oh dear.
yeah, and so the other one, um, rolled that one already this turn. The other one, yeah, I rolled that one already this turn. Okay. That one, you need to make a dexterity saving throw, Tarsus.
All right. Dexterity saving throw. Big bucks, no whammies. I'm not good at these. That's terrible. That's an 8.
Okay.
Oh.
You also are restrained because you have started to turn to stone.
Oh boy.
Okay. So that is now back at the top of the initiative, Malleus.
Okay. Well. Okay, so it looks like Malleus version 3 is not going to stay around very long. So anyway, he's going to run over here to where Kneecap is
Mhm.
because he's a rogue and he gets sneak attack if one of them is engaged.
Mhm.
So 2 polearm strikes
All right.
with the halberd +1
Yeah.
Okay.
to the beholder. I'm going to poke him in the eye
Okay.
with my toothpick. And apparently that does not want to roll. So I'm going to do it. I'm just
Okay.
Gonna do it here. It's a d20 plus 8 for a 15 to hit. Why is it still doing 15s?
Oh
Well,
dear,
that's what
15 all
happens
the way
when you
down.
roll 7 and add 8.
Yep.
Yeah. So that one, 15 does not hit.
Okay. So let me do that again. We're gonna
I
try and
think
poke it.
it's bobbing and weaving erratically because of
Kneecap.
kneecap holding it crooked.
All right. How about a 17?
17. Unfortunately, I think you make contact, but it's just enough of a grazing blow that its thick skin doesn't seem to really take any
It
damage.
it
Okay,
starts
so
rotating a bit.
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm going to try a psychic blade bonus action attack.
All right.
Um, that's a 19. I'm creeping.
Okay.
Oh
A
boy.
19 does hit.
Okay. Um, and that doesn't get sneak it, or it does. It
It's
rolled
once
sneak
per
attack
turn.
damage.
Yeah. If that's the only
Yep.
one that hits with, then yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
That's 8.
well,
I mean,
plus sneak attack, right?
13.
Yeah.
Yep. That is the plus sneak attack.
Oh,
I'm looking at it saying 8 psychic damage plus 5 sneak attack damage.
Okay, 13 then.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
I mean, I'm not trying to like this encounter is ridiculous, so I'm not trying to cheat you guys out of anything.
No, it's fine. I
Sure.
know it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So in any case, though, yeah, you zap at it a couple of times. They are each going to use a legendary action because they have 3 that they can use after an enemy turn. So basically, just like after
Yeah.
every one of your turns, they can
yeah. Oh
they
boy.
have
Uh-huh.
enough to just do that every round. So the one that is got kneecap on it gets okay. That's a dexterity saving throw for you, kneecap. And again, this would be disadvantage, but advantage for your danger sense. So roll it straight.
That's an 11.
Okay, you are now slowed.
Oh
Your
boy.
movement speed
Oh.
is halved. You can't take reactions, and you can take an action or a bonus action on your turn, but not both.
Oh.
And of the action, just one attack, I presume.
It doesn't say that here, so I'll rule that if you
Okay.
yeah. Okay, and then that's also a wisdom save for, or excuse me, a dexterity save for you, Tarsus, from the other one.
Okay, so I get that at disadvantage
Yeah.
because okay. So let's see how to do this. There we go. Dexterity save at disadvantage.
Mhm.
Oh wait, that didn't. Okay, that didn't do the thing right. Let's try it again.
I saw one come up. Was that not it?
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Oh,
right. But it's at disadvantage. Remember.
Oh, okay. Well, so disadvantage would still be the lower one, so that looks like a
Right.
14.
Right. So it's
Yeah.
still 14.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not enough. So you are also slowed.
I'm
Yeah.
well, not that I can move anyway. Oh boy.
Yeah. Kneecap, it is your turn. You can take your action, but because you are restrained, any attacks will be at disadvantage.
yeah. Yeah. So, you know what? I'm gonna do reckless.
Okay.
Of course.
And are you saying that? Would we say that I have access to my flail, or
I mean, I
is there any
think
reason
that
I wouldn't?
you know what? I'll say that you do because essentially,
Okay.
I think you've got like one hand on a grip around one of the eye stalks, and your other one is kind of free,
Okay. So,
Mm.
uh,
except that you're struggling to move because you
yeah,
are turning.
16 to hit, which I believe misses.
That's correct. It misses.
And then 28 to hit.
That hits.
So that is that is uh 10 damage.
All right. So you do 10 damage, and now if it is the end of your turn, you're going to
Yep.
make two two more saves for me, and they're both dexterity. And I will go ahead and allow it the same way of, you had advantage,
Okay.
but you're combining that with the disadvantage. So let's roll it for the slowing ray first.
Okay, so that's 12.
Okay, 12. You do not shake off the slowed effect.
Okay.
And now for the petrification ray.
Oh.
18.
And 18 is a success. So you are no longer turning to stone. You restrained.
Yay!
You are still slowed, but you are no longer
Yep.
turning to stone.
Yay!
Okay. And so at the end of your turn, they're each going to take another legendary action.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
So the first one, the one that you're holding, um, you need to make another dexterity save. Fortunately for you, you're not at disadvantage anymore. Well, no, okay. You were disadvantaged as long
Yeah.
as you're holding on. Like if you let go, that would no longer be the case. But
Yeah.
you know,
And I got a 10.
a 10.
Oh.
Okay, so you failed this one. This is a nasty one.
Oh
Yep,
boy.
I assume so.
You're going to take 51 force damage.
Holy
Hmm.
henna.
And that is not reduced by my rage.
Correct.
Ooh, I actually think I know what that one was.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
So
sure that was a disintegration ray.
yeah. So that doesn't. I don't think that reduces you to 0, does it?
No, no.
Okay.
If
So,
it
but
reduced me
yes,
to 0, I'm dust.
I think yes. So I think you find that like your body feels like it's trying to like
I
be sandblasted apart, but
I have a pit in the in my side now.
yeah. And so that was just the legendary action for that one. The legendary action from the other one is that's just the slowing ray again. It's going to shoot that one at Malleus, so that's a dexterity save.
All right, let's see. And that is a 14.
Okay, unfortunately, that is not a success, so you are slowed. And now they're going to take their proper turns. The first one that is in your guardian spirits, does it has to make a save, right?
As it makes a wisdom save, yes.
Okay.
For half damage, yeah.
It got a 14.
Okay, it needed a 15, so it will take 14 radiant damage.
Okay. It does take that damage. And then it is going to turn on its anti-magic cone to basically where it's looking at you. It's floating up here so as to not interfere with its other guy, but it is now anti-magic coning at you. And
So I can't cast any spells, correct?
well,
and does
not while you're in the cone.
But
anyway.
and does the spirit guardians go away then?
It's suppressed.
It is suppressed, so the
Okay.
spell is still active, but
Mhm.
it is not having its effect.
Okay.
So then it's gonna shoot some more eye rays. Let's get a Constitution saving throw from you, Tarsus.
Okay.
Can it shoot the eye rays inside its anti-magic cone?
I believe it can. No, you're right. The area works against the beholder's own eye rays. You're right. So,
Thank you.
so because I just said that, I think I would have tactically chosen differently if I had remembered that. But I'll just say it shoots at Malleus instead. So
Okay.
that is a Constitution saving throw for you, Malleus.
Okay. 18.
Okay, that is a success. So you're going to only take half. You're going to take 16 necrotic damage.
Okay.
And then it's going to shoot another beam at you, this nasty one that looks very much like the one that the other one just shot at Kneecap.
Oh, boy.
So this is a dexterity save.
Is that -2 because of the slow?
No.
No.
The slow does what I said it does, and that's all.
Okay.
It reduces your movement speed, and on your turn you can do an action, a bonus action, or both, but not both.
Okay, so that's a 16.
Okay, a 16 is a save, and so that means you avoid it altogether, just barely.
Ooh.
So yeah, you just barely managed to avoid that one.
So it is a save or no damn.
That one is, yes.
Nice.
Okay. And then it is. I need a wisdom save from you.
From me?
Yes.
Okay.
It can't shoot any of its eye rays at Tarsus right now because it's suppressing the.
Right.
7.
Congratulations, Malleus. You are now charmed by this beholder.
Oh boy. That's not good.
Okay.
Oh,
And
no.
so you had just kind of been getting zapped by it, but then all of a sudden it's just looking at you and going, "I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean to hurt you."
Baby, don't hurt me no more.
Yeah.
That's okay. I know you didn't really mean it.
Oh no. No.
You can keep beating up on the other guy if you want.
Okay,
So
you
yeah.
you know I wouldn't. You know you're the only one for me. I wouldn't cheat on you with this guy.
Yeah. So and then it's the turn of the other one, which is continuing to try to really not enjoy Kneecap attached to him. So it's still trying to unload everything on him if it can. Let's see. That's going to be another dexterity saving throw.
Okay. 16.
Okay, that is just a save, so you know you are not turning to stone again.
Yay.
You are still slowed already,
Yes.
and so as it prepares a beam of its slow, it's basically a wasted beam because you're already slowed, so it has no additional effect. And then a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. 14.
Okay, a 14 is a failure. You are paralyzed.
Ooh.
And I'm going to rule that unlike the petrification, a paralyzed, you're not going to maintain the grapple. I think you're going to let the grapple go and fall.
Here's how I imagine it. It's like basically paralyzed. My muscles aren't doing, but he can flex his.
Right. Yeah. It's basically you
Oh.
can't maintain the grip strength necessary.
Yeah.
And so as you fall, you're going to take 7 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And so that is, I'm going to have it's going to move away from where you were to avoid getting that, having that happen again. Okay. So it is now your turn, Tarsus.
Okay, so am I still restrained and slowed though I'm in with the magic field?
I think that the effect is still on you, but it is suppressed. So while you're in the anti-magic, you are not feeling it, but it has not dissipated from you. So if you move out of the cone, it will be there again.
Okay, so all right. I mean, most of my stuff is magic. That's problem. And they've moved
Did we
off.
have you make? So this is
No,
your
we
first
haven't
turn
made-
since the original.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
So you'll save for the petrification and the slow at the end of your turn.
Right. But right now they
Right.
are okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I ruled it, so it's fine. I was just thinking the petrification in progress might still be there, but let's just say it's not.
Okay, anti-magic is anti-magic.
Yeah.
Okay. What's that's no, that's a magical that's channel divinity. Channel divinity is a magical effect, so that doesn't work. Okay. I'm just all right. So, well, when in doubt, do something that's not great, but it's about the only. Okay, I can move out of the cone, but I'll be under the effects again, or
Mhm.
I can just pull out my crossbow and shoot the beholder. So
Yeah.
I'm going to pull out my crossbow and shoot at the beholder
Okay.
because I can still do that while
Yeah,
I'm
you sure
in the
can.
magic mode.
Mhm.
All right, here goes. Big bucks, no whammies. I'm not good at this. Oh, why is that? Oh, why are you not hitting? Why are you not rolling? Come on. Oh, come on, roll. Why is D&D Beyond not sending this thing here? All right. It's so this roll. Yeah, because I'm
roll.
hitting the
Yeah.
B and nothing's happened.
Well, yeah.
Like,
So here's the thing, everybody. We have known for several weeks that the D&D Beyond 20 app extension, as great as it is most of the time, has been increasingly glitchy of late. We don't need to keep being
That-
surprised by it.
yeah, I should be. Okay, so
Okay.
I rolled a 5, so I missed.
All right. Okay.
That's
so,
the end of my turn.
all right.
Oh, you're not gonna
so
make the
now you
saves.
need 2 dexterity saves, both at disadvantage. Well, I guess I'll say for now they're not at disadvantage because
The
you're
effects are
suppressed. Yeah.
Okay, so number 1
This is for the slow.
is a
Okay.
yeah, this is
so
this is a
still
9.
slowed.
And for the petrification,
Mhm.
natural 1.
Wow. Okay.
Whoa.
So what that means is that as soon as you are no longer in the anti-magic, you will immediately turn to stone.
Again.
Yeah.
Ah,
Okay. So it is now their turn for a legendary action. So the one that is that had recently been grappled by Kneecap is going to fire a beam at you, Kneecap, that you are unable to even, you automatically
Yeah.
fail dexterity saving throws, I believe, when you're paralyzed.
Yep.
And so that means that this deep pitch black ray is going to do 54 necrotic damage to you.
I am out.
And with that, Kneecap stops breathing. And his heart stops, and he is not unconscious. He is dead.
Mhm.
Okay.
The death ray. Okay, and then the other one is going to send another ray at Malleus, and that's another wasted one because it's you're still slowed already, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then it is their turn, and the one that is looking at you, Tarsus,
Mhm.
does not even require an action. It just turns off the anti-magic cone, and you are turned to stone. All right, I'm gonna shut off the aura on you. Okay. And then I think that. Sorry, I'm getting messages. Okay. And then it does not need any additional action for that, but it's going to fly over and start shooting you with rays, Malleus.
Okay. Tell me when I'm rolling.
Sure. First, a wisdom save.
That is a Baker's 20.
Okay. So I think you're not sure what your best friend, this beholder, is trying to do. It seemed like he was trying to scare you, but it didn't work. And he's shooting another ray at you. Like, I don't know what this game is like he's playing. It seems a little dangerous, but you know, he must know what he's doing, right? But you are going to need to make another dexterity saving throw.
And that is an 11.
Okay. Yeah, so you are going to take 33 force damage.
All right. Let's see.
You are no longer charmed, incidentally, when that
Yeah.
happens.
Just for the record, I'm down to 17 hit points.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, so yeah, that was a really nasty one. It was that disintegration ray again, and then it's got one more for you.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
That is another dexterity save.
And that is another Baker's 20.
Okay, so you are not petrified either. Okay, so that was their turn. It would be Tarsus's turn, but he is petrified.
Yep.
I think actually, yeah, we'll just leave it there, and then it would be your turn, Malleus.
Okay. Well, um, yeah, the dude who I thought was my best friend,
Mm-hmm.
and he turned around and betrayed me,
Yeah.
and then I knew that it was not a betrayal. I'm going to
I mean, still, it
run
was a
up.
betrayal, or
Yeah,
like it was a trick, is what it was.
yeah, it's what it was, but I'm going to run up to him and poke him in the face.
Yeah.
Halberd +1. And okay, never mind. I'm going to manually go back and roll that again. Okay, rolling. Okay, and that is a Baker's 20.
Okay, that hits.
Okay, let's see if this will. Nope. 1d10 +4. So that's 9 plus 4 is 13
All right.
points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do that again.
Oh, quit it!
You asked for it, dude. That's a
He
10
did.
to hit, so
Yeah,
that's not
no.
going to hit.
Mm-mm.
And psychic blade
Okay.
in the eye.
Is that a bonus action?
It is.
You can't do it
That's a.
if you're still slowed. You can't do
Oh
an
yeah.
action and a bonus action.
Okay. All right. So I did that, and I'll
Mm-hmm.
just stick my tongue out at him and go.
Yep.
You don't know what you're missing, man. Tricking me like that.
All right. Yeah. So I need another wisdom save and another dexterity save from you.
Mhm.
Wisdom save is not great. That's an 11.
This time he's leering down at you and you find yourself afraid. You are frightened.
Okay. Okay, and what's the other save?
Dex. Yeah.
Dex. And that is a 6.
Okay.
Oof.
You are restrained as you begin to turn to stone.
Oh boy.
And
Okay.
then it would be Kneecap's turn, but Kneecap's not taking his turn.
Yeah.
And so it is now their turn. And they're going to keep going after you. So you're getting 6 beams this turn. Aren't you happy about that?
Oh dear.
So let's see. That's a wisdom saving throw.
That is a 13.
This is perhaps for the best. You find yourself unable to keep your eyes open, and you fall asleep.
Oh.
And then that's a Constitution saving throw, which I think you can still make even though you are unconscious. And this will probably wake you up.
Yeah, it's a dirty 20.
Okay, so that's a success. So you're only going to take 16 necrotic damage.
I am down to 1.
Mm-hmm,
I'm
mm-hmm.
going.
Yeah. All right. Another beam. Beam. That's a wasted fear ray because it's you're feared already.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the other one is rolling. Okay, that's a wasted petrification ray because you're already turning to stone.
Uh-huh.
There we go. This is I need a strength saving throw as it tries to grip you with its telekinesis.
That is actually a 26.
All right. Yes, you manage once again to hold on to the platform well enough that you're able to wrest yourself free of its telekinetic grip. And then one more, I believe, on this turn. Okay, there we go. This will do it. Well, let's see. So dexterity saving throw, but this would be with disadvantage because of your pending petrification.
Yeah, so how about a 5?
Yeah. So as this beam strikes you, you find your body's ability to maintain its integrity ineffective, and the audience watches as Malleus's body turns into a pile of dust. And then I think as we cut away, one of the other beholders uses a telekinetic ray to knock Stone Tarsus off of the statue, at which point he shatters into pieces. And then the masked figure goes, "Yeah!"
All right. So, question: I had the Mimir.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I thought
Yeah.
Spine
So
did
Nope.
make for the
Give
for
it
the,
back.
for
when
the
Give it back.
oh right.
yeah,
Mhm.
I had the Mimir. So
Yeah. So I think that what we this we're not going to end the session now because it would be way early. But I think like if this were a TV show, it would be a good time to go to commercial break. As everyone's like kind of wrapping up, it's like, all right, that was a pretty good execution. We're happy. He's like, hey, what's this thing in this pile of dust? The magical items left behind.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh yay.
So I think what's going to happen here, because I think this is the most fun result at this point, is that back at the Walking Castle,
Mm-hmm.
um, we have so it's been several hours. So I think that I want to know with Radius and Spine, like how has your argument, has it progressed? Have you kind of gone off to sulk? Where are you
We
at?
just no, we decided before
Mhm.
we broke out, before we broke away from Spine and Radius that
Mhm.
we were going to head to Wanderhome
Sure.
and
Well, you're
find a gate to
yeah,
Sigil.
you set the
Yep.
Walking Castle there, but you're still kind of bickering about
Yeah.
it. That's kind of what I was getting at.
No, I mean, I think that was we settled on that.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I
Well,
won't force them, to
so the
I'm not
Walking
gonna
Castle was on its way. I'm not talking about had you made a different decision, and more just like what's the
Oh,
scene?
yeah.
Like are
um,
I'm Radius is sitting in the library talking with the book and is like, you know, I just, you could have just been on my team. I mean, I understand logically, yes. He they definitely kept that place from falling off probably. But the whole party?
so
so I think the Walking Castle suddenly lurches in an unexpected way. And Zathir hurries over to the Castellan and kind of communes with it for a little bit, and she just said, "You're not going to believe this." And then as you kind of go out to the mezzanine, you look down, and there is a sort of a little mound of dirt. No, not a mound, but like a crater is what I mean. The
okay.
opposite of a mound. Like
Right.
the
Yeah.
opposite of a mound.
a minus mound, yes.
Yes. And Tarsus, Kneecap, and Malleus are in it, but what do they look like?
I'm still working on
hey,
my new
so
character.
Tarsus ran out of preps.
Yes, I did run out of preps.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it means you can pick one of the ones you did before if you want.
I could. Actually, I'll let the other two go before
Yeah.
I describe Tarsus.
If I ever get to Cuspid version 4, I'm absolutely making a version 5 just in case.
so this version of Kneecap still a gnome. I still has kind of red hair, kind of palish, grayish skin.
Mhm.
But it's wearing armor. It's wearing well, I gave him a breastplate. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Basically, I'm not entirely sure about.
That's fine. I think we're going to mostly be doing role play for the rest of tonight, so you don't necessarily have
Okay.
to work out all of everything.
But yeah, he is wearing a breastplate with a helmet and still has a flail and sickle
Mhm.
he did.
Yeah.
He just kind of sits up, like shakes his head and looks around.
Alright.
Okay. Malleus, uh, what you see is what you think Malleus version 1 would have wanted to be, which is a tall dragonborn. He has golden fins for ears. He's got the same golden horns. He actually has a tail, and it's thrashing a little bit. You can tell, and if you could see his eyes, they're kind of like they're kind of like an acidic. I almost want to say acidic red, and they're narrowed up at the walking castle.
Mm-hmm. Which, incidentally, almost just stepped on you, which is why it lurched.
Yes.
And next to Malleus is another dragonborn. This one is bronze scaled and about is maybe a little bulkier than this Malleus.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
yeah.
I change species.
Nice. So the three of you find yourself looking up at the walking castle, recognizing that this has been another glitch and now you've been returned to your friends. But Malleus, as you suddenly and in a panic start like fiddling through your stuff, you realize like all of your magic stuff, including the Mimir, must still be back with your other buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the walking castle sets itself down so you can climb back aboard.
Mm-hmm.
And Kneecap speaks to both of you in very good Draconic. Strange
Draconic?
day, isn't it?
I'm sorry, what?
Strange.
In pretty
Kneecap,
good Draconic.
Kneecap
Okay.
is speaking in Draconic
Draconic.
to Tarsus and Malleus.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Strange day, isn't it?
Strange days indeed.
Very much so.
Radius is, watching you all come aboard and is like,
See,
Let me-
everything's fine.
is
Yeah,
it
Malleus,
now?
Malleus walks up to Spine and puts his hands on her shoulders, looks her right in the eye, and casts Chill Touch, which is a 25 to hit for 7 points of necrotic damage. And
Okay.
says, just so we're on the same wavelength, don't ever pull that bullshit again.
I knew you did something.
What? I'm sorry. Was there a step on this train? Was there a stop on this train that I stopped you from getting off on?
You took advantage of our propensity to act in accordance with the team, especially when one has a strong idea of as to what to do. You took advantage of a Spine and you cost us dearly.
We need to go to
Wait.
Hopeless so that we can get the Mimir back.
Wait. Whoa.
Affirmative.
Whoa. You lost the Mimir?
I was killed by a couple of beholders, dude.
Wait,
Same.
I thought you
Same.
I thought you were in jail.
We
We
were.
were-
Shmeska broke us out.
Okay, so you were in jail, and
Shemeskus
someone
broke us
offered you
out.
an extra legal means of escaping that rather than going through the process, and you took it.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
What I'm talking about,
And I did something
never
wrong
doing
here.
again, is throwing us under the bus so that you can escape.
I didn't throw you under the bus. You crawled in front of it.
Wait,
Just so we're all on the same page. Let's get going.
So So you got killed, and beholders have the Mimir?
Somebody
Look-
in Hopeless has the Mimir. So we got to go get it back.
Do we actually need it though? I thought the Mimir told us where we needed to go to find Rome.
I don't know. Don't know if we.
I would rather have it in our possession than leave it in somebody else's.
Sure,
Yeah.
but Andradas is kind of sort of on the way there. Sort of. We could stop
Sort of.
by.
And I'm gonna look at considering the fact that Hope, according to the map, Hopeless is like almost due south of us.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd need to make a bit of a detour, but not that much.
Dave here is saying, well, we were going to Wonderhome because there was going to be a portal to Sigil. But I think someone also ordered something there.
Yes, I have a magical dagger awaiting me there.
Mm-hmm. So,
I mean-
are we still going there first, or?
Where is the current location of the castle?
Well, I've got you all back on the map. You're
Yeah, I know.
We're
yeah,
Francis,
we're
in
on the
between
castle.
Automata and Wonderhome.
Yeah. Yes, we should go get Kneecap's dagger. Especially since Kneecap, Malleus, and I have lost the equipment we've carefully obtained over a long period of time. It would be nice to have a weapon of power amongst the three of us. The two of you, and I just glare at Spine, but I give a softer look at Radius, are still fully equipped, whereas we are basically off the farm adventurers at this point.
I probably don't have the money I had before either, do I?
No, we have
All of your
we
possessions.
got
Disintegrated and
nothing.
petrified.
So here's the thing:
Nothing.
for Malleus who got disintegrated, magic items are fine. Everything else is dust.
Mhm.
For those of you who are petrified, same deal. Like
Well,
Everything else is stone.
it's stone, and so magic items are fine. Everything else is stone. The coins that Kneecap would have had would be fine, but probably looted.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, that's 2,000 gold that I don't have anymore.
Well, it's fine, I guess. Let's just go pick up your package, and then we'll figure out how to get the Mimir back. And
I
then
mean, there might very well be a gate somewhere in Sigil that leads to Hopeless.
Mhm.
I mean, we
There
don't
was.
have to
It was
walk
down
there.
a laundry chute and put us out on
Wait.
a flint
wait,
where we had to fight.
wait. So y'all just jumped down a laundry chute?
Domestic
Yes.
person
Yes, we
told
did.
us to go there.
Mhm.
So y'all so y'all just said it was cool. Y'all just jumped into the thing
Uh-huh.
and had no idea where the like bottom was. And y'all took a lawyer from a mobster.
Mhm.
A monster that we are still working for.
I think it's funny
Yeah.
that I think Jason said mobster and then you said monster, but both
Yeah.
work.
Both work. Yes, both work. My sister
and, and you don't feel in any way betrayed by this person.
Honestly, at this point, it kind of running course it's par for the course at this
It
point.
was
Right.
either the shoot or a court case that who knows if we had any chance
Yeah.
of
Right.
All right. So it was the
The
shoot
situ- this,
and the
this
beholder.
situation, yeah, this
versus-
situation doesn't sound familiar to you guys at all.
$15,000 worth of legal fees.
18,000 gold
Yeah.
for legal representation for
That might not have
three of
worked.
Yep.
Okay. All right, fine. Just
That's
okay.
fine.
You don't see it, that's fine with me.
Listen, I can.
I'm going to my room.
It's fine. Depending on how much refitting you all is, I might be able to cover it. But
Yeah.
And they've got
I'm,
basic gear. They just don't have their magic
Yeah.
items.
right.
yeah.
The
I'm
only
fine.
thing out of character, the only thing I'm really missing, it really sad I don't have is the +1 flail.
hmm And none of the weapons that Malleus would have had would have done him no good anyway
Right.
with this build.
I mean, my shield and mace would be useful for this build still, but
Yeah.
you know, and all the money,
Yeah.
and the weapon entanglement, all the other stuff I had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hadn't died in a while. I was just impersonating my head,
Yeah,
so
same.
Okay.
it's like,
All
yeah.
right.
Now I'm kind of back to zero.
So here's a thought, and tell me what you guys think of this. If we're going to go up to Wanderhome, does it make more sense to head over to the mausoleum and drop off Rini before we get any deeper into this bullshit?
That's up to Rini, but I
I
think that's probably a good idea.
I feel like
I think that hanging around murder hobos is probably not in their best interest.
I mean,
Yeah.
you guys are okay. Like sometimes
Uh,
you do some scary things.
I mean,
the character goes over to her and gives her a big hug.
he Malleus just kind of like points. See what I mean? We need to get her back to her people.
Yeah.
and Radius
I'm
is like,
evil, not that.
Radius is like, honestly, Rini, definitely has a point. It's definitely not safe. And I honestly, if someone found out we had a baby time dragon, I don't necessarily know how well less danger that would create.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
you met her because a witch had tried to buy her already.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's go to Wanderhome. Let's get Rini home, and then we can figure out where we're going from there.
Which would be
Yes.
to probably
Which would-
get the Mimir and then to Rome.
And Davier says, and it is quite possible that via portals through Wanderhome to Sigil, there might be faster ways to get to Hopeless, but the Walking Castle would not be there.
Right.
Yes.
And I would doubt there would be a direct path, but it would be an option if you felt that time was of the essence.
Okay.
I don't think the same portal to Hopeless would be good.
No, it's a one-way trip.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless any of you have an idea to entertain some being that has apparently no emotions.
Well, if it's
She
not
seemed
a
happy
god,
after the execution.
But we never saw it.
That's true. It's true.
So wait, did y'all remember when they told us, maybe you guys don't remember, it was when I was with the original party, that there was a very powerful death lady running around. Y'all didn't happen to run into that lady at this point, would you?
Lady of Death? No.
So the Lady of Pain is, if
Or
that's
Lady
who
of
you
Pain,
mean.
yeah.
Yeah, she rules Sigil.
Okay.
And there is some superficial overlap between the Maiden of Misery in Hopeless, but to the extent that you would compare the two, it seems as though one is a pale imitation of the other.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm pretty sure the one in Sigil's probably not the pale imitation.
Yeah. No.
Which isn't good.
Well, I mean, it's the difference between a powerful magic user mortal and essentially the sort of entity that can order gods around.
Right.
Man, uh, how did we definitely get here? We could always, we could, we could, hey, we could ask for, maybe the ruler of Sigil will give us a favor. Maybe because of the craziness going on, maybe they'll be like, hey, I'll call down to Hopeless, give them to give you back to Mimir, and you'll be on your way. But you know what? Nothing for us plays out this way.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
So you know what? Let's go murder this person who murdered you, and then we'll get the Mimir, and then we'll go find this Rome person. And if they don't agree, then we'll just murder them too. Because at this point, it seems like the more we leave things alive, the less good it works out for us. I mean, we should have murdered those hags, and then we got the last Tarsus by hags. So at this point, it just seems like we should just murder them all. Does that sound like a good plan?
I wouldn't be opposed to at least some of that.
It
Yeah.
would appear we are going to war. And
Yeah.
and Tarsus, the first time you ever seen Tarsus do it, this is a new Tarsus. Tarsus just grins widely with his teeth.
Yep. Yep. There's a whole lot of teeth going on.
There's a whole lot of teeth going on.
I,
Jurassic World, we've got enough teeth.
There's never enough teeth.
but I kind of, after when you say that it's time to go to war, Kneecap kind of grunts and then heads upstairs, and you see a uh, a great copy of himself appear, and Kneecap seems to start talking to it.
That's interesting.
That's new. No more screamy, punchy.
Oh, no longer barbarian. Nope.
Hmm.
I am
Yep.
very different.
Mhm.
Radius
Yeah,
kind of
not
looks
different at
around, by
all.
the way. Radius kind of looks around and goes, nobody healing still, huh?
Nope.
I'm a cleric.
Y'all didn't roll that one.
I'm still a cleric.
Ah,
I was tempted to go a different class, but in the end, I decided I metagamed. It's like, no, we need a healer in this party. Besides,
Yeah.
I wanted greater restoration for the chance I might get my equipment back from my petrified self.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So cleric again.
Yeah. Y'all, unfortunately, I rolled a d4 to
And you
choose
got the
between
one.
version 2 and version 1, and y'all got version 1. I'm sorry.
It's all right. I had run out, and it's like, what am I going to do now? Like, oh yes, I promised to change my race. Here we are, Dragonborn Tarsus. No more speaking like a robot. Now it's more brash and warlike. This is a war cleric.
Oh, nice.
Well, so certainly all of you can continue whatever business you would like aboard the castle as it makes its way towards Winterhome. I think probably all of you right now aren't necessarily mechanically in need of a long rest, but you would, be marching
Get
through the
one
night on
anyways.
the walking castle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Things are uneventful. I think at one point, Dayfear lets you know that she got a sending from a friend in Sigil that basically said, I heard through the grapevine that there was some sort of a court case that involved your walking castle. But then when I went to find out more about it, it looks like the case had been dismissed.
Well, that's convenient.
Mhm.
That helps out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So the walking castle, after about another day or so, overnight and then into the next day, can reach Wonderhome. And
All
so
right.
Kneecap can retrieve their dragon tooth dagger,
Yes.
which if I recall, had we said half deposit and half when you pick it up? Or I
I
don't remember honestly.
don't remember either.
I feel like that sounds like what I
Yeah.
would have.
How much would it be?
Well, let's see. Like I think the dragon tooth dagger. Let me. You know what? So nobody remembers specifically, and it's just kind of.
No, I
Yeah.
don't
Okay.
remember.
Yeah.
All right, because I definitely don't want to like enforce anything. So it's a rare item. So that was something along the. You were
I got it.
providing. Oh yeah.
Um, let's see. So he paid half, so he has to pay 1,000 gold pieces. It was 2,000 total. He paid
Okay.
half.
Fantastic. Thank you for the notes. Heroic inspiration for you.
Thank you.
All right. So that sounds like that's 1,000 gold still owed.
Yep. And Radius looks at Kneecap and says, I want you to murder so many things with this. And he
I won't mind.
and he hands over the 1,000 gold.
Nice.
Yeah, one moment. I need to. I had an idea for a name, and let me get that name. Da, 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 da. Okay. Asaid's Rage
Nice.
is the name of the dagger.
Cool.
Asai's Rage.
Yeah. AISID.
All right.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay. So, is and did anyone else want to do anything or buy any more gear while you're in
Some of us are
Wonderhome?
poor now.
Mm,
Yep, can't do it.
I'm
In Wonder Home?
poorer.
No.
I'm poorer.
Yeah.
Let me see 1 second. Would
Spine's gonna buy donuts for the office.
That's dry.
Very nice. Fun. Fun.
would there be a cloak? Since I know we got what the cloak they had when we went to the armory thing, we had like a choice between like a +1 weapon and a cloak of protection, something else, wasn't there?
Oh,
That's-
yeah.
yeah,
It
that's
was.
years
There
ago.
was. I believe it was. Let's see. The cloak of protection, a +1 weapon. I can get you the rest of this here. Just a second. Yeah, a +1 weapon, a +1 wand of the war mage, a cloak of protection, or dimensional shackles.
Right.
Would there be a cloak of protection available in Wonderhome?
I'm sure that that's a relatively common, or like it's not common, right? But it's like
Yeah.
that is a
Standard.
known standard item. So that is something that you could probably buy if you wanted to look
Yeah,
for one.
I would like to buy one, and I've got a couple. I've got a couple magic items to toss in for it.
Okay. So, cloak of protection is it is an uncommon item. So what are if you find a magic shop that's got one, and what offer are you making?
I would say 250 gold plus a magic item.
Yeah, what magic item?
I've got a feather token that will make a whip,
Okay.
and I've also I'll put that one up first.
So let's see. You're offering 250 gold and the
1
whip.
verse item. Yep.
Okay. Um, Yeah, I think the seller thinks that's a fair trade.
Nice.
Okay, cool. So,
All right.
um, yeah, all right. So you can go ahead and exchange that for your cloak of protection.
Nice. I think that's the only thing I need from this fella. Yep, and that'll be, yep, I think that'll be it for me.
Okay.
I don't think I need anything else. Honestly, at this point. At least at this point, I can hope to get disintegrated or at least eaten by a hag.
Oh,
There's
you
new
might get your
Malleus.
chance.
Nice. All right. So, if there's any more shopping to be done, we can do that, or otherwise you get on your way again.
Think so.
Um, all right. And so, where did I put this? I closed it. So I think as you are now making your way, kind of southeast here, I assume heading more or less directly towards Mausoleum of Crenepsis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Planning any stops along the way? Or I assume no. It sounds like, but
No.
let me know.
No, no,
Okay.
I don't think so.
Nope.
All
Straight
right.
there.
Well, so what I will say is that as you're sort of passing through this slightly more marshy area, um, you hear outside the castle um, some sort of cheering sound, like jovial cheers. And you look down, and this is actually the second time that this has happened, but you see a group of a dozen lizard folk cheering as one of them is straining and hefting a barrel sized boulder over her head. She holds it for a moment and then lets it drop to the ground amid even more cheers. And you may remember that you had spotted these seem like the same lizard folks that you sort of had spotted at one point, but then didn't stop for
Yeah.
earlier in your adventures.
Let's see.
Feel free to not stop again if you think that's funny, but
Yeah, I think we're gonna not stop again.
all right.
Yeah. Ah, darn.
we,
I
we
can't.
don't have a barbarian who wants to test his muscles.
No.
I was gonna try and do something, but it looks like like, but it looks like I can't actually, communicate in that means.
Okay, I don't.
I
Mhm.
basically, the echo I had, the
Okay.
gray version of himself,
Mm-hmm.
I can go send it out and see and hear through its eyes and ears, but I can't speak, which
Mm-hmm.
is what I'd want to do.
Sure. Okay. I mean, so
Yeah.
you tell me, are you just walking on by?
No, I'm gonna just watch as they go by.
All right.
Yeah, we're just keeping on.
Okay. So I think it's another couple of days, but you're not really, um, you're able to do as you like, but you're not really having any other incidents at the moment. But you are getting close here to the mausoleum of Crenepsis. Whoops, closing stuff here. Um, and did I showed you the mausoleum of Crenepsis handout or no? Do you not have that one?
I
Um,
want to say you did.
yeah,
Well,
we
I'm
just have to
sharing it
find it.
again now. It's called Mausoleum of Crenepsis as you get closer.
Oh yeah, that doesn't look ominous.
Yeah. It
No.
also doesn't look familiar. I don't think you
Okay.
shared this with us last
Okay,
time.
well, I don't think you actually
Ooh.
you didn't get
Close
really
enough.
close enough the last
Ah.
time.
Mhm.
But so as you are making your way and finding yourself closer and closer to it, uh, let's see. Um, you make your way there, and from an expanse of ruins and dragon bones rises a great fortress. and on its towering facade, brilliant light beams from an opening shaped like an hourglass. High above, well, okay, that high above wheel the silhouettes of soaring dragons is what it says, but I'm not used to seeing wheel as a verb in that way. That's why I hesitated there. But then as you see it, and uh, Rini suddenly is looking out at it and says, "Oh, thank you everyone for bringing me home. You should probably stop here. The dragons are territorial. We don't want to provoke them. But
Right.
but I just want to thank you all so much for saving me from that witch and for being good friends and just showing me so many more parts of the Outlands. And I don't know that I completely understand what's happening to all of you or what your larger mission is, but I believe in all of you and I believe that you're going to do great things. And so before I go, here." And she kind of reaches into her side and she pulls out one of her scales. And it's not very big. It's the size of like a little guitar pick, maybe. And I think, like, who would be right there for her to hand it to?
I think Kneecap would.
Okay.
Yeah.
She gives it to you, and then she gives you a big hug.
Oh yeah, Kneecap just gives her.
Aw.
Oh, the
Thank you.
hug.
Hugs for everybody who wants one.
Of
Yep.
course.
Yep.
And she says, "Thank you so much. Thank you. And good luck to all of you."
We will meet again. We know it.
Yes, we will. And
All right.
you go and become the biggest, most powerful dragon you can be.
Hi, I'll try. I'm going to be really big. You'll see.
Be
Yes,
all
we
that
did
you
see.
can be in the skeleton crew.
Yeah. Okay, so you say goodbye to Rini, and then from there, which way are you headed from there?
Hopeless or Dendrotus?
I mean,
I do we know do we know for certain that there would be something we would need the Mimir for?
I
what I recall was that the Mimir said that we need to go to the Dradas to find Rome.
The Mimir did say that. You don't know necessarily for sure what the Mimir's larger purpose might be. You know that Rome was using it in his own mission, but that when he knew where to go, he left it at the Walking Castle for safekeeping.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't bring it with him to Dendratus, but you don't know what else might be relevant about it.
I'm willing to think that since then Rome did not take it to Dendrotus, we should at least stop by and see if there's something we might need the Mimir for there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we want too many more fractures to happen before we resolve whatever this is.
You're giving me food for thought here, Kneecap. I do wonder. It feels wrong to leave it all behind. Everything we lost in Hopeless. But maybe because I'm just a more passionate Tarsus than perhaps what you're used to.
Thafir says, "I don't know if you're ever going to need it or if it will be important. But Rome did ask me to hold on to it. And the longer you leave it in the
And-
hands of those in Hopeless, the less likely you're going to be able to easily get it back, I would say.
Also, it
Mhm.
is a
True.
font of information, and information is power. We just handed a piece of power to forces unknown if we don't retrieve it. Thank you, Zather. That
True.
clarifies my thought.
And
I vote we go get the Mimir, even if we don't need it for Dendratus. Leaving it in hopeless would be irresponsible and reckless, because someone might misuse that knowledge that it provides.
I say, since this is Zathir's castle, and she is allowing us to use it, I am willing to go with Zathir and retrieve the Mimir.
Yeah, I think the Mimir. I definitely don't want to leave it in somebody else's hands.
Indeed. I don't. Honestly, I don't like people having too much access to us as the skeleton crew, honestly. We have a lot of things and a lot of stuff, and could do really bad things in the wrong hands. I mean, we do have a walking castle, and I've not seen one like it.
And
Then we go to Hopeless.
yeah, Zephyr says, there are many walking castles, but this one is mine.
Acknowledged.
Yeah. uh, as this walking castle is doing its thing, moving away from the mausoleum, suddenly a shadow passes overhead, and a massive shape settles atop a nearby ruin. It's a gigantic, ancient-looking time dragon with
Oh,
huge
Lord.
branching horns that pulse with opalescent energy. A voice like a whisper reaches you. Call, and I'll be there. With that, a portal of swirling colors opens around the mighty dragon. The great worm fades into it, and then the portal vanishes. And Kneecap, as you watch that, you suddenly feel that the scale that Rini gave you is now warm in your hand, and it is now glowing with magic. And it has become a charm, a supernatural gift, which means it's a one-time use thing. That while holding the scale, you can use an action to summon Renisnupra, an adult time dragon. And she will appear and aid you for 10 minutes.
Wow. That's definitely something to keep a hold of.
Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And to keep in mind.
Yeah. And, you see Kneecap look down at the scale, clutch it to his chest, and turn away with a little bit of a tear in his eye.
Aw.
So, you begin the march down towards Hopeless. Some of the, you're certainly passing by Dendratus for now, as you discussed. You're going to be passing near the Caverns of Thought, the Court of Light, Semanuya's Bog. Probably don't care to stop at Cursed again, but it's near
Oh, no.
on your
No,
path.
we had enough first.
Are you kind of just making a beeline, or are you?
I think, yeah, making a beeline.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I
I just realized we're gonna we're gonna be passing fairly close to the coral to the
Yeah.
garden.
Yes.
Gonna go
yes.
back and visit.
Maybe
No.
some equipment.
I don't think I had much equipment on me.
Okay.
I didn't lose much out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I could theoretically depetrify myself if the GM allowed greater
Two of you?
restoration to work on that coral. We had supposed to wind up with two of us. It'd be that's just wrong.
I mean, you could fight to the death.
Well, it also just raises the question: What would happen if you cast Raise Dead on one of your other buddies?
Yeah.
That's a very good question. I'm not sure what happens.
Also, I mean, honestly, if you,
I think reality breaks more if we do that
I
sometimes.
mean,
Yeah.
if you could like unpetrify yourself or whatnot, and then you killed yourself, who would show up?
Oh gosh.
Or if you
Ah.
touch yourselves, would y'all like time cop each other?
Oh Lord.
Right. It. I don't have specifics for that reference. I understand the movie, but I don't know the specifics.
Oh, they touched each other and basically collapsed in on each other.
Ah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a horrible way to go.
Yeah. So I guess we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
just keep moving.
For the
It
moment.
reminds me of Back to the Future, where it's like you don't want to meet your past self because it could either end the universe or you would just both scream and faint.
And we did find out it's Graven faint.
Yeah. So in any case, I think that this is a bit of a longer trip, but you are able to make your way fairly effectively in the Outlands. You're not the newcomers anymore. You've seen many things in this place, and some of this is even familiar territory. And so I think we would be talking about something on the order of like 8 or 9 days of travel. Does anyone have any sort of like little vignettes that things that you might be doing in that time?
Well, Kneecap would be doing basically training, combat training.
Mm-hmm.
And so allowing these versions of the party to at least observe what he can do.
Mm-hmm.
And just so everybody knows, he is an Echo Knight.
Oh, interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, little bit of the reality splitting has kind of gone into him for this version.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I imagine, I don't know if any of you would want to actually go do up against him in some sparring.
Versus would.
Okay.
Versus is actually not a good. Is actually kind of on the weak side for a Dragonborn because he's much more wisdom built, but he's enthusiastic about fighting even if he's not the greatest at it. Even if he's a spellcaster, he's boisterous enough to give it a go, even though he's a little. I think probably even Malleus could take him. But
So here's the question. If you were interested, we could fully play out like actual sparring and everything. We probably wouldn't want to do that tonight because we're close to the end of the session. But we could also simply abstract it as sort of a skill challenge of like, 3 rolls where you each pick a skill and you're doing rolls against one another.
yeah, I got like that. Let's go for that.
Okay. So the first one, so the rule here is you're going to pick any one of your skills that you like and roll it against the other person doing the same thing, and then the next roll is a different skill. You have to do 3 different skills. You pick which order, and you're going to do those 3 opposed rolls, and best of 3 wins.
All right.
Okay. So we just pick our.
Yeah, so you pick whichever skill you
independently?
want for the first one, and it doesn't have to be the same as each other, but whichever one you pick and whoever wins, we have to explain why that gives you the upper hand in some way.
Yeah,
Okay. So I'm going to do athletics.
I'm going to do acrobatics.
All right.
17.
8.
Okay. So even though you're trying to sort of dodge and weave and evade, you just as soon as Kneecap gets a hand on you.
Yep.
Yeah. Kneecap kind of, pushes you back, and an echo comes in and sweeps you off your feet.
Nice. All right. So let's get a next round.
Tarsus is going to try to intimidate
Okay.
Kneecap. This time with his size and his dragonborn nature, he's going to roar at him basically.
I did deception for this.
Okay.
5.
Okay.
Wow.
So
So
I
yeah,
got
so
8.
yeah,
What did you say? 8?
8 deception.
Okay. So I think maybe everyone who's watching is watching that round and just going to like, oh, I don't know. You guys, come on. That's not your A game. What's
All right.
going on now?
Yeah.
But it sounds like it's still, it looks like from an outside perspective, it looks like Kneecap's going to be the victor here. But
Yep.
certainly there's one more round in which Tarsus can try to at least reclaim some.
Okay, I'm going to go with
You know what? Oh,
athletics because I know I'm going to lose, but I might as well give it a shot.
Hmm?
No, I got 15, so I actually managed to overpower Kneecap
I
once.
I tried acrobatics and
Yeah.
got a 10.
Okay.
But
yeah.
overall,
So,
you won.
all right. So yeah,
easily.
I think it's a matter of it was clear that for most of the match, Kneecap was kind of dominating, but you managed to get some good hits in, towards the end there. So nice.
And it's a lot of yeah, Kneecap takes being in multiple places at once to full advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, you you find yourself, kneecap, kneecap, you know, pokes at you at the front, and like one, and suddenly there's one that's hitting you on the side, touching on the side of the head, touching you in the hip. Yeah.
All right. So I think that what else are people? How are you spending your time traveling?
Spine is staying towards. Then if anybody wants the scene with Spine, you're gonna need to seek her out because she's not.
Somebody should research hopeless.
Yeah.
To see
Radius.
what actually we're gonna
Yeah.
Yeah.
go up against.
Yeah. Radius is in the library. He's been having these kind of whispered conversations with his spell book. If anyone listens, you hear things like something about something missing, or having gone missing, or being less than.
Mhm.
But he will be also going to research Hopeless.
Okay.
Okay.
You
So
probably need help for that because we have a ruined library. Do I actually have the investigation skill? So can I help you now? Let me see.
Investigation.
I
Um,
actually do have investigation. So
not,
if you
so-
want to deal with Malleus helping out,
You
he
can
actually
help.
does have he does have proficiency in
yep.
investigation.
There you go.
Can I now? Is it just investigation, or can I use history too? Or can I use history?
I think investigation is probably what we're looking for here.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I will. You can help, and that'll give me advantage.
Well,
Okay. Yep. I'll poke around in books and try not to rip the paper with my claws and all that good stuff. As you do.
Okay,
Excellent.
16's not bad.
All right. So I think that you learn that Hopeless is the gate town for the Gray Wastes of Hades. It's got any number of different sorts of humanoids that live there, but it is generally speaking a very dreary place. The one notable bit of color in the whole place is what's known as the Screaming Gate, and it's really like it's the way you get in, but everything after that is gray. And part of that is the Maiden of Misery, High Cardinal Thingol, currently rules the town. Did not always, but took it over because basically everybody there is too apathetic to resist.
Try to stop.
Yeah. And she has a pack of beholders that support her.
Yes, we know.
And so she apparently kind of rules by whim, but is generally speaking like a tyrant, and is pretty unmoving on her. I was wanting to say like derision, but for despise, like like what's the noun of?
Despotism.
Well, that's a different word, but it's a good word. It's also applicable. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Her dislike, her distaste for displays of emotion and for color. And people are literally executed for wearing clothing that is too fashion, like too fancy, for example, or too flashy. um,
Oh my god.
the execution means is literally what you experienced, which is they are taken to this platform known as the gallows, and they are told that if they can make her feel an ounce of emotion, she will set them free. And what the books say is that it is unclear whether that is a sincere promise or not, but regardless, it has never happened. So
Hmm.
it's not obvious that it is a lie, but no one has ever succeeded.
Mm.
And so there are a fair amount. There's a fair amount of undead energy there as well, and you don't necessarily need to access the gate there. But basically, this town has kind of a circular layout with a sort of spiraling road leading down to just basically a pit. Like the whole thing is almost like a little whirlpool drain, where in the center, a bottomless well bubbles with thick black gunk. And basically, to get to Hades, you let yourself sink into the tar.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's a spiral down into the nothingness of Hades.
Yeah. Also, sometimes
pleasant.
monsters come out of it. So,
Sounds
Yeah.
pleasant.
yeah, it's great. Everybody
Honestly,
loves
it does sound better than cursed.
it.
Like there's nothing that keeps someone who enters from leaving. I hope.
No, no, it does not have that same sort of a prison-like quality to it. It's just they're not interested in trapping people there, but they certainly have it the way they want it and will enforce that to the point of death.
Hmm. So maybe being like, you know, there's something very colorful that was left there. We wish to remove it to make it as a
That
to
mosaic Mimir is certainly like all patchwork with all different colors and metals and
yeah.
materials and stuff on it.
So that should be something we
Try.
All right.
But,
Well, so I think maybe as the walking castle moves along and we begin to see cursed, or excuse me, not cursed, but
Hopeless.
hopeless on the horizon, perhaps that is where we will draw tonight's session to a close.
okay.
Okay.
Yay, fun.
Mhm.
Dun dun dun.
Passing between these two big broken statues, that's where you are. All right, cool. So thank you, everybody. And thank you, everyone, for listening and or watching. And we love you, and we'll be back for more adventure on so many levels.
So many levels.
Level.